Today I'd like to talk a bit about the art of topping and trimming plants. We'll use basil plants to demonstrate what topping does, and we'll also talk about when it could be beneficial and also show you how and where to top a plant. So this process and technique can be replicated for most other indoor plants and is not limited to basil plants. Hey guys, Max here from LED Tonic. Topping plants is often referred to as high stress training, as it involves cutting off a part of a plant. But basil doesn't mind being topped and trimmed, as long as it's given the right conditions to bounce back. These plants are not the exact same age and were not started at the same time, but will still be very helpful to demonstrate the effects of topping. They've been snipped off at different times from these three mother plants. Yes, all of the plants in the back have been cut from these three plants, rooted in water, and ultimately been moved to one cup. We're looking at three different types of basil. We have the classic and probably most famous and common, the Genovese. Secondly, we have a Thai basil that has a bit smaller leaves. And lastly, we have dark opal basil that looks absolutely amazing. Without diving too deep into this subject, I've drawn a couple of examples here to help explain the concept of topping. Plants have a certain amount of grow power that is directed to its different branches and leaves. Most of the power is concentrated in the top, which makes the plant grow taller, and less energy is spent on the lower leaves and branches. If we cut off the top, energy will be redirected and find new paths throughout the plant. These numbers are not at all scientific, they are just examples to make a point. So each time we top a stalk or stem, growth will be stopped in that direction and find new paths. This can even be taken to the next level, where we strip all leaves below the top canopy, often referred to as defoliation. And this concentrates all grow power to the upper canopy, and together with a well-topped and trained plant, light utilization is maximized. This is especially beneficial when growing indoors. Outdoors, the sun rises in east and sets in west, and throughout the day all leaves will at some point be illuminated, and they'll all contribute to the plant as solar panels that harvest light energy. When growing indoors, plants are often illuminated from a single point light source. This is also the case for these basil plants, as they have grown in a 2 by 2 foot or 60 by 60 centimeter tent below our Z5 LED grow light. With these conditions, lower leaves may get very little light, if any light at all. In that case, the lower leaves can become a burden and steal energy and growth potential from the rest of the plant. So, starting from the left, we have an untopped Genovese. It has a few natural small side shoots, not a lot but some. Overall, a very tall build and a lot of grow power focused into few leaves and the main stalk. This Genovese has been topped once and has 4 strong tops and 2 weaker shoots coming up from the bottom. A bit shaded, but still. This Genovese has been topped once at the bottom just above the first node and then again above the second node, as well as on the emerging side shoots at the bottom. It is a bit less developed than the previous plant and a bit smaller in size, but it has a lot of potential. It just needs to bounce back. Continuing to Thai basil, we see the same phenomenon. And this Thai basil has been pushed a bit further for the sake of the experiment and has been topped 4 times. 1 time at the bottom, shooting out side shoots, and then again, and then again, and then again. As you can see, it results in a large and flat canopy, which is perfect when growing indoors. Lastly, this Opal basil hasn't been topped yet and is branching out naturally pretty well on its own. How a plant grows is a bit species dependent, and some plants benefit from topping while others don't. Here it looks like flowers are forming at the top, and this can be undesired as flower production can alter the taste of the leaves. And the best way to prevent this is to just snip off the top or tops, and the plant will continue growing as it did pre-flowering. One more thing to consider is that topping is a stressful event that a plant needs time to recover from. If you're growing outdoors and your season is short, your plants may not bounce back in time and ultimately yield will be lower. This shouldn't be a problem for basil, but can be a problem for peppers, tomatoes, or other fruiting plants that need more time. It all depends on how long your growth season is. Alright, that's all for this video. Take care, keep on topping, and until next time, happy farming.